Boom, boom, boom. We are live on the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayelua. My name is Ayelua Adedeji, and welcome to the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayelua. I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. At the Model Family Focus, what we do is that we teach parents how to parent. We teach parents, we equip parents with skills and strategies that they need to raise well-rounded and balanced children. And if you are joining me for the first time, you are highly welcome. I celebrate you. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for always joining me. And we are here again today. How to choose the right school for your children. Back to school prep. How to choose the right school for your children. For those of us watching me from Nigeria and some other parts of the world where we run almost the same school or the same academic system, the holiday is almost rounding off and we are getting ready. We are getting ready for another academic session. So this topic is very, very important. And if you are watching me right now, I want you to do away with all forms of distraction, because I am very sure that you are an intentional parent and you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure that you choose the right school for your children. Back to school prep. How to choose the right school for your children. On this session, you will learn what you need to look out for in choosing schools for your children. You also learn how to spot red flags. Red flags. How to know if the school is actually right for your children, especially for those of you that has already chosen school for your children. Those of you that are not enrolling your children into school newly, this session will empower you, and I really hope that we are prepared for what is about to happen. Let me also announce to you again that 2 of my books are available on my seller store. Why Find Your Lost Purpose? A Parent's Guide to Raising Purpose-Led Children. This book is power-packed, is very educative and informative, and it comes with a companion workbook, a workbook that will empower you to parent with your spirit fully present. Yes, the workbook is a living book. Is a book that you will use and use and use and use over and over again until when? I can't even tell, because parenting is a lifelong role. Once a parent, forever a parent. In this book, I designed 8 powerful tools. Yes, 8 powerful tools that will help you to identify the hidden talents in your children, the problem that your children are designed to solve. It's available on my Stellar store. And the second one is Discipline Without Damage. This book will empower you, will equip you how to discipline your children without breaking their spirit. Yes, it is possible. A lot of us don't know that we can actually discipline our children even without breaking their spirit. It is possible. And that is what this book will empower you to do. So these are my 2 latest books. And trust me, I'm always writing. As soon as one is getting released, other ones are cooking. So I'm always writing. So look out for other books that are currently on my table. So let's get to the business of the day. Back to school prep. How to choose the right school for your children. Do you know why this topic matters? Because education is the biggest investment parents make. Let me say that again. Education is the biggest investment parents make. While I do not support allowing the education finances to become a burden, but I've seen parents who went as far as borrowing money to pay their children's school fee. Yes. So education is one of the biggest investments parents make. So you should make it intentionally. You should be intentional about that investment. Because choosing the wrong school can leave your children frustrated, struggling, disconnected. The wrong choice of school for your children can tamper with your children's purpose. Yes. That's why you need to read my book, Why Find Your Lost Purpose. If you are not careful in selecting school for your children, and by error you put your children in a wrong school, chances are that your children will miss the purpose for which they are created. So the choice of school is as important as every other choices we make for our children. So it is important that we have this discussion, and it is important that we take everything we are going to learn on this session seriously, because at the end of this session, maybe and maybe not, if you are just enrolling your children in a new school, you might need to have a rethink. Yes, you might need to have a rethink. If you have already chosen school for your children, you might need to sit down, go back to the drawing board, and try to, find a way of correcting one or two things. That is what this session will do for you. The right school helps children thrive, not only academically. If you choose the right school for your children will not only thrive academically, your children will thrive emotionally, socially, even spiritually. Yes. If you are able to choose the right school for your children will not just do well. Your children will not just thrive academically. It will impact on all the areas of their lives. Like I said in one of my posts during the week, that school teaches our children more than ABC or 1, 2, 3. If your goal of sending your children to school is to just go to learn how to read and write, then you are wrong. You are wrong. Because part of the gateway for your children's learning, school is very important. School is the important gateway. So choosing a school for your children isn't something you just need to do anyhow. No. Because if you make that mistake of choosing the wrong school for your children may never find their purpose. Yes, I said that. If you make that mistake of choosing the wrong school for your children may never find their purpose. And the strategies I'm going to share on this session cut across primary school, secondary school, even tertiary institution. Yes, primary school, secondary school, and tertiary institution. And if you are a school owner, let me not omit this. If you are a school owner, this session will equip you to be able to present your school as a sought for school. Yes. Because you are going to learn how to position your school appropriately. As a family life practitioner, I work with schools. So I know what I'm saying. So Like I said, the right school helps children thrive, not just academically, but emotionally, socially, spiritually, and all round, your children, if you're able to choose the right school for your children will just do well. You will end up raising a whole child. A whole child. So this is a choice that you shouldn't make carelessly. The role of schools, just as I've said, the role of schools goes beyond academics. Why? Because school shapes world overview. The school that your children attend shapes their world overview, their worldview, how they view the world, confidence, friendship, and future direction. Did you just get that? Let me say that again. I said the role of the school goes beyond academics. Like I said earlier, if your goal of sending your children to school is just to read, to learn how to read and write, then you are wrong, and you probably make the wrong choice for your children. So the role of school in the life of a person goes beyond academics. Schools shape worldview, relationship, friendship, confidence, and future direction. And as parents, you are the chief architect. That is why you shouldn't just send your children to school. You should place them in school intentionally. You shouldn't just send your children to school. Your children will not thrive in any school or in every school. No, your children will not. So you don't need to just send your children to school to learn how to read and write. You need to place your children intentionally. Intentionally. I have seen people reading without going to school. There was a time, I don't know if that still happens now, but there was a time I'm aware that at some point there were organizations where they teach elderly people who can't read and write how to read and how to write. So the goal of the school is not just to teach your children letters and numbers. School shapes worldview, how we view the world, how we perceive friendship, how, we are able to find our future direction. So you need to place your children in school intentionally. I have said it, what I'm about to say here, I've said it on my social media platform in one of my posts. I had no business going to the university I went to. Or maybe not the university, the course that I studied. But yes, I can even say university. Yes, I had no business going to the university I went to. It was the wrong choice. It was the wrong choice. And I paid for it. Yes. One of the costly mistakes that you can do as a parent is to make wrong choice of school for your children. All right. So, what are the key factors that you need to consider when choosing school for your children? And these are the things that you need to carefully look into when choosing schools for your children. Whether your children is in primary school, or your children are in primary school, or your children are in secondary school, or your children are in tertiary institution. These factors cut across all this level of education. It cuts across all of them. So the first one is vision alignment. Vision alignment. Every school has a vision, whether spoken or unspoken. So as a parent, you need to be sure, you must ask this question: does this school vision align with my family vision? Now, family vision again. You must have heard me say this over and over. If as a family you do not have a family vision, then you will make the wrong choice. Automatically, by default, you will make the wrong choice of school for your children. What it means is that if you don't have a family vision, it means you stand for anything. It means you lack direction. It means your family is like a sheep without a direction. And you know what happens? The sheep would just be tossed here and there, here and there. And that's why most parents will follow trend when selecting school for their children. Because my friend's daughter is going to that school, so I can put my children there. Oh, because my friend is a teacher in that school, I can put my children there. Because the proprietor or the proprietress of the school is my friend, I can enroll my child there. Or because I can even afford the expensive school fee. Some of us, our definition of good school is expensive school. I am not saying it's bad to go to good schools. No, that's not what I'm saying. But beyond that huge amount of money you are paying, does the school vision align with your family vision? What is your family vision? Where do you want to see your family? Where do you want to see your children in the next 10, 15, 20 years to come? What legacy do you want to, keep for your children, even for the generation, your bloodline yet unborn? And this is where family system installation comes in place. If you don't have your family system installed, then you are wrong. And you will make that error big time. You won't even know that you are taking wrong decision. At the Mother Family Focus, one of our core services is family system installation. We help families to install system, everything that they need to keep their family running and running well. Yes. So if you don't have your family system installed, contact us at the Mother Family Focus. We'll guide you through. That's what we do. We guide you to crafting your family vision, your family mission, your family core values, your perceptual code, and all of that. It is important because your family system installation is like a roadmap to your family's destiny. Your family roadmap to where you envision every member of your family to be in the nearest future. I've said this over and over, and I will continue to say, because that is the fact. Businesses don't thrive on assumptions. Businesses thrive on systems, on structures, on rhythms. So if you don't run your family like a business, then you are going nowhere. If you don't run your family as a business, what it means is that you are raising children with confused identity. Children who will struggle to find their voices later in life. Children who will grow up with dysfunctional system. That's what you are going to do. That is who you are going to raise. Yes, if you don't have your family system installed, and even for single ladies, for single young for the singletons, the single spinsters and bachelor, we also encourage them to have their family system installed. See, when you have a map of where you are going to, even if you are not sure of where you are going to, at least you know the road that leads to where you are going to. There will be no chaos. Currently, I'm writing a book titled What I Wished I Knew Before I Become a Parent. And honestly, why the book is not about regrets, no. It's not about regrets. It's about identifying what went wrong and being intentional to correct the wrong. I envy younger generations because of the avalanche of information that is available right now. All these things that we were learning, our parents didn't know all of these things. It took me years of learning and unlearning, relearning and all of that to get me to where I am now. And even as a parenting coach, as a parenting expert, as an author, I still learn about parenting. I read every day, every blessed day about parenting. And that is why I keep saying that parenting is not intuitive. It is a learned skill. It is not assumption. You don't assume parenting. That you have a husband, you have a wife, you have a child or children. Doesn't make you a good parent. No. There are skills that you need to learn. There are skills that you need to learn if you want to parent, intentionally. So one of the first factor that you need to consider while selecting school is vision alignment. Does this school vision aligns with my family vision? If I put my children in this school, will this school complement me? Does the school values? In fact, when I'm looking for school, when we are trying to enroll our children for the school, even before I ask about the fee, the first question is, what is your school vision? What are your values? I want to know, because I will not put my children where every work, every system, every input that I'm building at home will be undoing. No, will be I don't want a system that will counter what I'm imputing in my children. Yes, let me put it that way. For instance, if part of your family value, if one of your family value is humility, and you put your child in a school where materialism is glorified, there's going to be a clash. You will end up confusing your child, because your child will learn different things at home. Your child will go to school to learn another thing. And that child will grow up to be a confused person, a confused adult. So you need to ask that question. Does this school vision align with my family vision? And if you are a school owner and you are watching me, recently we had to change our children's school because we relocated. So we were looking around for schools, about 4 or 5 schools. I can't even see their family vision boldly written in the school premises. These are the things you should do. Even the scripture says that your vision, write it down, make it plain, so that those that sees it may run with it. It's not enough to have your family vision or your school vision. It is important to make it visible, to make it, to communicate. Let it communicate to people. Let it guide every decision that you make daily, your daily decision in all of the schools that we went to. I can't even cite the school family, the school vision. School owners, if you are watching me, if you don't have that, the first thing that anybody should see when they get into your school is your school vision. Who are you raising? Where do you envision your students, your pupils to be? I even went to one, I asked, what is your family vision? They can't even express, they can't communicate their their school vision. They can't communicate their values. How do I put my child in such a school? That means anything goes. That means even the staff, the teachers, there's no system in place. There's no system. That is not good for children. Children thrive on predictability. Children thrive on predictability. So as a school owner, you should ensure that your school vision is strategically placed all around your school. When someone is coming, the first thing that they should read, they should see, is your school vision. Is your school vision. All right. The second factor is value alignment. It's similar to vision. Value alignment. What are your family values? Does it align with the school values? School passes values intentionally or unintentionally. Yes, school passes values to your children. If there is clash in your family value and your school value, there will be problem. There will be problem. If your intention, if your family vision is to raise disciplined children, and you are putting your children in school where there is no system for proper discipline, for positive discipline, or if you are a parent who disciplines, who believes in positive discipline, and a school vision believes in harsh discipline, and you enroll your children in such school, you are going to confuse your children. There should be value alignment. There should be value alignment. What is value? Value is one single decision that guides every other decision. That's how I define value. One single decision that guides every other decision. So you need to be sure. You need to ask that question. Your school, your children's school should be able to outline their school values. Values such as integrity, respect, academic excellence, spirituality, discipline, and all of that. The third factor is your child's unique design. Your child's unique design. Again, I'm telling you that you need to read my book, Why Find the Unlost Purpose. In that book, I categorized 4 different types of wiring for children. Trailblazer wired children, Think Smith wired children, Natural wired children, Luminary wired children. Each of these category of wiring has their own peculiarity, their uniqueness, their growth edges, their fortunes, what you need to do, the kind of discipline that works for certain wired, group of wired children can, destroy another type of wired children. For instance, a trailblazer wired child, they are born leaders. They are bold, they are confident, they love challenges, they love to tackle challenges head on. These are the children that most people would tag as stubborn, as rude children, and all of that. There is something peculiar to them. There's something that they lack, is respect. That is their wiring. They lack respect. So as a parent, you need to understand this so that you will know how to discipline them. These are the children that people will tag that. You see that my child, it needs iron hand. You know, I've heard parents say that to me. Coach, this thing that you're saying, you don't even know my child. My child need iron hand. No child need iron hand. It's just because you have not identified the uniqueness of your child. So if you have, if you are raising a trailblazer wire children and you are giving it tough to them, you are empowering them because that's what they want. They love challenges. They love challenges. So what you need to teach those children is respect, honor, ability to follow instructions. Ability to follow instructions because naturally they don't like following instructions. They believe they know it all. They think they don't need anybody. I'm raising one. I have a trailblazer wire child who is expressing that at its core. He's less than 3-year-old, and almost everything he wants to do, he will want to do it by himself. He will say, I can do this by myself. I can do it by myself. He dresses up himself. He does things by himself. He believes that he doesn't need anybody. That is pride. You know, that is pride. But he's not doing it intentionally. That is his wiring. As a parent, what I need to do is not to kill that leadership fire because they are born leader. They are CEOs. Trailblazer wire children. They are. Thank you, Obatade Olatiji. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for always joining me. They are children. They are children who are fighters for justice. They are the children who become presidents. Excuse me, please. All right, sorry about that. They are creators. They are CEOs. You know, if you misdiscipline them, if you take their uniqueness, if you mislabel their design, you will crush them. You will crush them. So you need to understand your child's unique design. This will help you to choose the right school for your child. There's another category of children. I call them the nurturer. They are the group of children that people will tag timid, you know, that people will say she's very slow and all of that. But that is not true. They are deep thinkers. They have analytical mind. They come with, you know, ability to discover. They are born researchers, scientists, authors, and all of that. So you need to understand your child's unique design before you can choose the right school for your child. If you don't understand your child's unique design, as a parent, you will mislabel your child. And no doubt, you will make the wrong choice of school for your child. Children are not copy and paste. No, they are not copy and paste. Each child has his or her learning style. Some are auditory learners, some are kinesthetic learners, some are what other visual learners. Yes, you need to understand how best your child learn. This will help you to choose the right school for your children. Wrong school can crush potential. Let me say this again. Their parents, wrong school can crush your child's potential. If you make that mistake of choosing the wrong school for your child, you will crush your child's potential. Honestly, you will crush your child's potential. So you need to observe your child's strength, struggles, and choose school that nurtures that strength, not suppress it. There's a document that we normally prepare for children at the Model Family Focus. We call it the user's manual. All the schools that my children has attended, those are the part of documents. As a matter of fact, I will hold meeting with the proprietor or proprietress or the teachers. To discuss all of those things. So the essence of this document, user's manual, and every child needs it. Every child needs that document. At the Model Family Focus, we believe that children are products designed by the manufacturer, who is the God Almighty. Just like, products that human being designed. For you to use a product maximally, you need to go through the user's manual. A document prepared by the author, by the manufacturer, in this context, by the manufacturer. So we, as a parenting experts, we have our toolkits that we use to identify your child's strength, your child's weakness, what your child's growth edges, what you need to do, and what you shouldn't do. So we prepare a document. When we run our tests, we prepare a report as a document to guide users. Part of the users of the product, who is a child, is a teacher. Yes, the parents, the teacher, at the school, a place of worship, and all of that. So this document will prepare the users, both the parents and the teacher, how to use it, to inform them on how to use this product maximally. That is the child. That is the child. You need one for your child. So this document will highlight the child's strengths, the child's struggle, so that the teachers and the school system will know what to do. We nurture those strengths and not suppress it. In a school where a child is beaten for speaking up, for asking questions, that school will suppress the confidence in a child. If you are raising a trailblazer child, trailblazers, like I said earlier, they are bold, they ask questions, they like to challenge anybody at all, they can challenge. If you do not understand the school system and you enroll your child in a school where they mislabel confidence as pride or as rudeness, then they will crush your child's potential. They will kill your child's confidence because they will silence that voice in your child. They will suppress your child's voice. And you and I know that confidence is an important factor if someone is going to be successful. No matter how good you are, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter the solution you have, if you are not confident enough to present them, you are as good as not having anything. So any school that will suppress your child's voice, that will suppress your child's confidence, is a wrong choice. Any school, any teacher who will beat a child, who will punish a child for asking questions, for challenging teachers, is a wrong choice. What they just need to do is to equip that child to challenge respectfully, responsibly. All right. So the next thing, that's number 4, is emotional awareness of the teachers. In life, emotional intelligence is huge. If you enroll your children in a school where they are not emotionally intelligent, that school will crash your child's potential. That school is a wrong choice for your child. If you're a school owner and you are watching me, you should be emotionally aware. You should be emotionally intelligent. In fact, year in, year out, you should build a capacity for your staff, for your yes, your teachers to learn about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is good. I worked in a school when I finished my secondary school. While I was waiting for admission, I was teaching in a primary school. And there was this auntie that we were together. We were working together. I think I think she has NCE certificate or something. This auntie will beat children mercilessly. And at every slight provocation, she's angry. She will flog. These are nursery, primary school, age 2, 3, 4, 5. She will flog them, she will slap them, she will talk to them anyhow. That is a teacher who is irresponsible with her emotion. Things that are normal, that a child is crying, it is normal. It is normal that a child is crying. It's not a big deal. It's not. So you need to be sure that the teachers in the school are emotionally intelligent. You need to ask that question. How often do you train your teachers on emotional awareness and all of that? Teachers are not just information givers. No, they are emotional architects. They will teach your children how to manage anger. They will teach your children how to, how to form relationship with other people. So you shouldn't joke with the choice of school for your children. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. If you have a school owner who talks anyhow at parents, who addresses the staff anyhow, that school is a wrong choice. If you are a school owner and you are watching me, take note of this. I have seen this happen. The children are watching. The children are learning. You talk down on your staff, they are learning. What you are teaching the pupil unconsciously is that you need to get things done by force. You are teaching your pupil the wrong thing. Parents, take note of this. Take note of this. How emotionally aware are the staff, the proprietors, the admin staff, the teachers, the nannies, and all of that. Importance of emotional intelligence, intelligent teacher, how patient the teacher is, how empathetic, how resilient a teacher is. How can a teacher be able to validate feelings? You need to put all of these things into consideration before choosing a school for your child. Now we'll move on. The fifth one is fee. Oftentimes, this is the first thing that parents consider before enrolling children in school. How much is the school fee? Can I afford it? Can I not afford it? And all of that. Yes, it is also important to consider the fee. Education is an investment, not a financial trap. Enrolling your children in a school where you struggle to pay the fee is a wrong choice. Yes, it is a wrong choice. Education is an investment. It is not a trap. If you have to always borrow, excuse me, you have to always borrow. You have to squeeze yourself. You have to suffer, to pay your children's school fee. That school is a wrong choice. Some of us will choose school, trying to compete. We are competing with our colleagues, with our church members, with our neighbors, and all of that. So that they will not say I don't have money to put my children in big schools. May I tell you that some of these schools, not all of them, but I can tell you that some of these schools that you pay exorbitant fee, some of them don't offer more than even schools that, where parents pay lower fee. Some, what you are paying for is the prestige of the school, the building, and all the fancy things. If you have the money, why not? I'm not saying you shouldn't put your children in good schools, in expensive schools. No, that is not what I'm saying. You can, if you have the financial ability. But if you cannot, do not allow the choice of school you make for your children become trap. Do not take loan to pay your children's school fees. Yes, it is financial irresponsibility. You will find one around that will fit into your financial status. Yes, you will definitely find. You will find. So if fees make the family financially unstable after paying school fee, and now is a new session, you need to buy books, you need to, buy stationaries, buy school uniforms, buy sandals and all of that. If the fee make the family financially unstable, it builds stress both for you and the child. When you enroll your child in a school, after paying school fee, when they say the children want to go on an excursion, I don't have money, for extracurricular activity, I cannot pay, the fee is too much for me. You are affecting your child's emotions, because when your child is not able to meet up with other children, your child can fall into depression. Why not choose a school that after paying the fee, you will still have more to attend to other needs? It is very important. Choose the best within your limits. Choose the best school within your limits. The child's future depends more on your parenting, more than the school's prestige. Let me say that again. I said, choose the best school within your limits. Your child's future depends more on your parenting than the school's prestige. Take note of that. If you can afford it, take your children to expensive schools. But if you cannot, find the best within your limits. And you can always find a way around it to complement it. Don't put your children in a school because that is where your colleague, that's the school your colleague's children are attending. Meanwhile, your colleague is earning twice your salary. Don't put your children in a school because your neighbor's children are there. Consider your financial status. I know of someone who enrolled his children in a school where the school fee is almost times 3 of his salary. And he keeps borrowing. Out of competition, competing with someone who earns almost 10 times than you. Keep borrowing. And you will now say, it's because of these children. It's because of these children. I'm trying to give them the best in life. The children did not send you. That is it. It is your choice. And eventually, when the children grow, you are expecting them to pay back because of the huge sacrifice that you made for them. And the children are not able to meet up. You keep, saying all of these things. I did this for you. I sent you to this. I spent so amount. I did this, I did that. Come off it. You made that choice. Your children didn't ask you to take them to that school. You chose that school for them. So be careful. Don't stress yourself. Don't overstress yourself financially because you want to enroll your children. So, factors you should consider in choosing a school for your children is the fee. The next one is distance to home. Distance to home. Long, distance drains children. It drains children emotionally, mentally, and physically. You will stay in a place and you will take your children to school where maybe 30, 40, 1 hour drive away from home. It's stress. So it's stress. Please avoid it as much as you can, except if you cannot avoid it. Except if you cannot avoid it. Maybe probably the school is close to your place of work so that it can be easy to do pick up and all that. But if you can, ensure that the school where your children are attending is close by, except if your children are attending boarding house. Except if your children are attending boarding house. I prefer school that is close by. And one of the things that has helped us, our children's schools are at walking distance home. Yes, we'll find the best within that space. Walking distance. I walk them to school, or their father walk them to school, and we walk them back home. And usually when we are taking them to school, we have family curriculums that we teach every morning. So as we are walking down to school, we are having meaningful conversations every day. So you should consider distance also. Don't stress your children. Don't stress them. They need more than academic. There are other activities that they need to do on daily basis. Yes. So if they're already stressed, the school bus will drive them round, because the school distance is far away from home. You have to get them to move with the school bus, and the school bus will drive them round the city. And by the time they are at home, they get home, they are fagged out, they are tired, they can't even do other things, and they do that every day. Every day is stressful, and children will not say to you. Children don't have vocabulary to say I am stressed, but it tells on their mental capacity, their emotional stability. It even affects their academic performance. Yes, in case you do not know, it affects their academic performance. So to avoid that, choose a school that is close by. That the children can walk, a very short distance back home, so that they won't be stressed out. School within reasonable distance, allow rest, play, and family bonding. Every day, here we play. That's part of our after school routine. There's time for play. There's a time to study. There's a time for quiet time. There's a time for thinking corner. If they are stressed out already, they won't be able to function properly after school. So distance home is also critical. It's a critical factor that you need to consider. Then academic quality, you need to put in place. You need to consider academic quality. You need to check the curriculum. What curriculum is the school running with? Is it British? Is it Nigerian? Is it American? Is it Montessori? You need to, or IB, you need to, consider all of this. You need to consider all of this so that you will know what, your child really needs. If the curriculum you are running doesn't align with who you want to raise, with your family vision, then the school is a wrong choice for your children. You need to ask, does this curriculum, does it fit into my child's learning style? Like I said, children learn differently. That's why for those that will say, this child is a dullard, that's not true. No child is a dullard. No child. No, and the children that are called challenged, whether mentally challenged or physically challenged or something, wherever, no child is a dullard. It's what if the child is not learning the way we expect that child to learn. What it means is that you have not identified how that child learns. That is just it. No child is a dullard. It's just that children learn differently at different pace, at different pace, and with different styles. Children who are visual learners, if you are using auditory to teach them, they won't grab it. So you need to know, you need to understand your child's learning style. Children who are auditory learners, if you are using teaching style that is visual, you may not get the desired results. So you need to understand what curriculum, what learning style, that the school is running with. And for the school owners, you need to be able to build a system that is inclusive, that includes a child who is auditory learner, kinesthetic learner, visual learner, and all that. You need to build a system that will include all learning styles, so that some, children will not be doing well while others are lagging behind. Not because they are dullard, not because they can't learn, but because your learning style does not align with their learning style. These are the capacities that you need to build in your staff. This is for the school owners. All right. So you need to balance academic excellence and also thinking, problem-solving skills, and all of that. It is important to consider this. Then extracurricular activities, extracurricular opportunities. You must have heard me say this over and over, and I will continue to say it. Children need more than academics to do well in life. I have seen people who are academically superb, yet they struggle in life. They struggle in life. Why am I saying this? You need to expose your children to other activities aside the academic world. Aside the academic world. Again, in my book, Why Find Your Lost Purpose, I talked about activities that you need to introduce your children to based on their unique design. I'm saying this again. That means you need to understand your child's unique style. Then you will understand the activities that you need to expose your children to. I remember in one of the chapters, I also list out books that you need to get for your children based on their designs. See, parenting is not a joke. To fulfill destiny is not by prayer alone. Yes, prayer is okay. Even in the workbook, there is a section for prayer alignment, scriptural purpose alignment. There's a section for that in the workbook. But only prayer will not do the work. You, the parent, you have a whole lot to do. So you need to consider a school's curricular activity. What other activities do they provide after the academic, outside the academic? What activities do they expose the children to? Does the school provide exposure beyond books? Do they expose children to sports, arts, clubs, coding, cultural activities, music, and all of that? These are the questions that we need to ask. Sometimes some time ago, a parent wanted to change a child's school. So I asked why. Why did you want to change your child's school? And our reason was that because the school didn't have television. That's out of ignorance. I can see huge knowledge gap. Your children, especially preschool, they don't need television in their class. They don't even need screen. What they need is physical activities that will build their brain development and cognitive skills. They don't need to be put to screen. So you need to be to be sure that your children will not just be limited to academics, to books alone. If you don't expose your children to some activities, you may not be able to identify your child's potential. You may not. You may not. You may not. All right. Holistic education builds resilience and life skills. Schooling is not education in totality. Did you get that? I said schooling is not the education in totality. You need a school that will expose your children beyond books, beyond academics, so that your children can thrive. The next factor is class size and teacher to student ratio. So we went to inspect a school, and I and my husband, we met with the proprietress, and I asked the question, and I said, Ma, what is a teacher to pupil ratio? And she was like, what do you mean? So I explained what I meant by that question. And she was like, how does that affect the children's performance? When she was in school, that they were about 40 in the class and they all did well. Even as a teacher, she can handle 40 students. She can handle 50 students. It is the capability of the teachers that matter. Blah, 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 and all of that. That is not true. The smaller the size of a class, the better it is for your child. The better it is for your child. Because the larger the class, the more attention the children need. And the teacher is not a machine. That's why some teachers, they get stressed out and they start beating children, talking down on children, and all of that. So you need to consider the class size. What is the teacher to pupil ratio? Teacher pupil ratio. How many students, how many pupil will a teacher handle? You need to put that also into perspective. Large class size may stifle your child's growth. If the class size, let's say there are 20 pupils in a class, 30, 40 pupils in a class, it may stifle your child's growth because the teacher will not be able to pay attention. The teacher can't perform magic. The teacher cannot work more than his or her capacity. For those of us that went to government schools where we have large class, think about it now. There are only few who sit at the front that really, get along in the class. The larger percentage of the pupil, of the students, sit at the back. Some of them don't even know what the teacher is saying. Some of us that went to conventional universities, you understand what I'm saying. When you have about 200 students in a lecture theater doing what? That is too much. That is too much. And that is why we have half-baked graduates that can't even do well, that can't even provide solution because they were not given the attention they needed. You need to consider this. These are the questions you need to ask your proprietors, your headmaster, or whoever is in charge of the school. And if you are a school owner, please ensure that you manage the teacher-student ratio properly. Don't overwork the teachers. If they are overworked, they won't perform well. They are not machine. When they are tired, they are tired. They are tired. They can't carry more than what their capacity can handle. So you need to take note of that. Also, safety and environment. Safety and environment. You need to ask the question, is the school environment safe physically, emotionally, and socially? You need to consider the safety. A school where anything can come in, anybody can come in and come out without, control and check and all of that is a wrong choice. is a wrong choice. A school should be a safe place, physically, emotionally, and socially. You should put this in place. How is the school preventing bullying? If the school is a school where senior can discipline the junior students anyhow. I attended boarding house and I understand what seniority and juniority can do to people. Some seniors, they traumatize the younger pupil, the younger students. You need to ask about all this. All these are important. If you enroll your child in a school where there's no structure against bullying, against maltreatment, the school can raise a traumatized adult even without you knowing it. I mean, one day I was reading on social media how people are coming out, how excuse me, what the senior student did to them and all of that. You need to consider this. You need to ask, what do you do about bullying? Is there any consequences for bullying? How do you handle pupils that bully other pupils? Because it happens. Remember that the children, they are coming from different homes, some from abusive homes, some from unstructured home, and they come together in a class. So you need to consider this. You need to be sure that the school environment is safe for your children, both physically, emotionally, and socially. And for the school owner, you need to ensure safety optimally. I understand that safety is of the Lord, but we also have our own role to play to secure our pupil, to secure our students. All right. So let me quickly run through the red flags and how to evaluate schools. Red flag. When you see a school that overemphasizes on grade without character building, they are after who take first position, who can speak very well, who is best in this subject. That's a red flag. Every child is unique. Every child is unique. Just that children are unique in different ways. A child may be good in mathematics and another one will be good in drawing. Yes, that is the child's unique strength. School should be able to nurture strength and not suppress it. So, red flags, when a school overemphasizes on grade. That's why I don't support schools giving first position, second position, third position for what? What about children that showed up every day, even though they didn't take fourth position? What about children who can create? Who are good at painting? These are the things that we need to also consider. So overemphasis on grade, any school that overemphasizes on grade without character building is a red flag. Teachers using humiliation or corporal punishments excessively is a red flag. For those of you that will take your children to school for teacher to flog because your child is misbehaving at home, is wrong. Please stop it. It is wrong. My father did something to me when I was in secondary school, and trust me, it took me years to get over it. Stop taking your children to school because they misbehave. Deal with it at home. They misbehave at home. Yes, deal with it at home. Don't go and report your children in school. So that the teacher and the school authority can humiliate them. Why? It is not okay. So if a school uses humiliation or corporal punishment, as a matter of fact, like I said in the user's manual, you don't beat our children in school. No, you don't. It's part of what we put in the user's manual. We teach you, this is who our children are. This is who our child is. This is how to discipline This is not to excuse them from discipline. No, we discipline them. But we haven't been able to distinguish between punishment and discipline. They are two different things. No child deserves to be punished for making errors. Most times we punish children for making errors, for making mistakes. No child deserves that. So when a school uses humiliation or corporal punishment excessively, it's a red flag. Please don't choose that school for your child. It's going to mess up your child, and you may not even know. Now, lack of transparency in communication with parents. That's also a red flag. I've seen a lot of, hanky-panky with school owners and all of that. School owners, if you are watching me, be as transparent as much as you can. As much as you can. These days, most, especially private schools, they don't want PTA meeting. They don't want PTA. They don't want to be having PTA meeting. Some have the opinion that the parents want to hijack the school. The parents want to be controlling the school owner and all of that. It depends on how you present your school. But the truth is, you need the parent. You need to give the parents sense of belonging. One of the reasons why we didn't enroll our children in a school, even though the school is doing well, so to say, but they didn't have PTA, Parents and Teachers Association. No, that's not for me. That is not for me. Because even as a parent, I want to be involved. Because the destiny of my child, I'm committing the destiny of my child into your hands, and you want me to enroll my children and just go and sleep? No, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. I want to be involved. They are my children. I want to be involved in their growth. I want to be involved in their learning. So you need to consider that. Is the school transparent in communication with parents and all of that? I see a lot of things from school owners. Please check it. As parents, if you notice that there's inconsistency, there's no clear communication from the school, from the teacher and all of that, it is a red flag. It is a red flag. Sometimes ago, our son misbehaved in school. He took somebody's, I think biscuit or juice or something, and he ate it. When we relocated, so we newly changed their school. So our son came home and he was telling me that my teacher beat me and all of that. And I was like, okay, what did you do? He said something. I can't remember what exactly he said. I said, okay, I will find out. So I called the proprietress and I asked, it has been stated in their user's manual that they shouldn't be beaten. What happened? And during my investigation and all that, what actually happened was that our son took somebody's snacks and ate it. So when I heard, I told the proprietress, so my son did this and you didn't deem it fit to inform me. That's wrong. That is wrong. So how do I work on it? Funny enough, he has never done that. Even in his previous school, he has never done that. And I told the proprietress, this is not something you just beat a child and you assume all is well. No, it's not. So we need to look into that, and we discovered that our son did that because we relocated from different environment to a new environment, and the snacks he's seen in that school, their snacks he wasn't used to. So out of curiosity, I want to know how this tastes, he took another person's biscuit. So you need to ensure that there are communication, clear communication between the school, the teachers, and all that. If my child misbehaves at school, I should know so that I can work on my child. So you need to put that also in place. No room for creativity or individuality. I'm talking about red flags. Red flags. For school owners that are watching me, these are the things you need to work on. No room for creativity. Your child can't create anything except what they are taught in school. There's no room for individuality. They can't deal with your child with his or uniqueness. Is a red flag. That is a wrong choice for you. That is the wrong choice. So what are the steps you need to take to evaluate schools? Do a physical tour. Move round. Don't rely on beautiful banners and designs. I've been to a school where in their banner they put a picture of what do they call it? Computer room. There's a way they called it. ICT, yes, ICT building, fully air conditioned, and they didn't have a single computer in that school. So don't rely on beautiful banners or brochures or flyers that they give you. Do physical tour. Check the building, check the school facility. If I'm looking for a school for my child, even the toilets, I will check. Yes, I will go there and check. How does it look? Does it befit? Is it what I want my children to use? So you need to do a physical tour, then observe the classrooms. Observe the classrooms. We went to a school. You can hardly tell that this is a school. There's a way a school environment should be designed that would invite pupils, students to learn. When you enter an academic environment, you should be able to tell them, no, this is a learning environment. You can hardly tell. So you need to check all this. You need to observe the classrooms. How is it arranged? The seating arrangement, the structures, and all that. Then ask about the discipline policy. Discipline policy. And again, I'm talking about your family system installation, because these are the systems that you put in place in your family system installation. Discipline policy, discipline strategies for your children. Each child has his or her discipline strategy. A strategy that works for a Thinksmith will not work for a Trailblazer. Discipline strategy that works for a luminary will not work for a nurturer. So you need to ask about discipline policy. How do they discipline? How do they discipline? Does their discipline policy or strategy align with your family discipline strategy? Talk to parents with children already in the school. That's steps to evaluate schools. Look for pupils who are already attending the school. Talk to their parents. Hear their view about the school. What can they tell you? In fact, they are the best set of people to give you the right information. So you can do that. Also check teacher retention. I remember when we relocated and we were looking for school for our children. So I and my husband went to a school, and one of the questions my husband asked was that, how often do you change teachers? And the proprietor said, even though they don't really have control, and yes, I agree to some extent. But if the proprietor said she doesn't really have power over allowing over keeping teachers to stay for a long time. That some they will just come after a month or two, they say you are good. But for me, if you can't retain teachers, it's a red flag. For me, at least a teacher should stay for a session. At least. Normally, each session, different teachers will take pupil. It is not possible for the same teacher that took a child through primary 1 to take the same child through primary 2 and all that, and primary 3, 4, 5 and all that. But a teacher should at least stay through a whole session. I remember when I was working with a school, I told the proprietress, when teachers are coming and going and coming and going, I told the proprietor, I said, you need to put a system in place that will ensure that the teacher stay at least for a session, because it is a red flag. It will affect the students, the pupil. It will affect them. So you need to check teachers' retention. How often do they take in teachers, new teachers every now and then and all that? High turnover is a warning sign. High turnover is a warning sign. If within a session, a school is changing teacher 3, 4, 5 times, it's a red flag. It's a warning sign. You should see that as a big deal, because it is your child that will suffer for it. Mind you, you have paid the school fee. Mind you, your child is growing. So you need to take all of this in place. Now, let me quickly recap the key points before I round up today's session. School choice shapes a child's destiny. The choice of school you make for your children will shape your child's destiny. So this is why you shouldn't just send your children to any school. You should place your children in school intentionally. Because that school has the ability to shape your child's destiny, to shape your child's design. If you make a wrong choice, all right, align with vision, values, and your child's uniqueness. I discussed that extensively. You need to align your own family values with your own family value, vision, and your child's uniqueness with the school vision, values, and all of that. Consider fee, distance, academic style, and emotional safety. Don't follow trend. Follow intentionality. I say it again. Don't follow trend. Because everybody is taking their children to one school doesn't mean the school is right for your own child. It doesn't. Because you can afford the school, because the school is even expensive, doesn't make the school the right choice. This is a mistake that most parents make. They assume that because the school is expensive, then it is a good school and all of that. When we moved to the new environment, we were asking somebody about schools around, and he showed us that this school is okay, this school is there, and all of that. And we discovered that the 2 schools that he showed us are the 2 most expensive schools in that environment. But as for me, that is not enough to conclude that a school is the right choice. No, it is not. So don't follow trend. Follow intentionality. Don't follow trend. Even if your friend is a proprietor or the proprietress, if the school does not align with your family vision, your family value, your family mission, your child's unique strength, it is still a wrong choice. It is still a wrong choice. Remember, schools don't raise children. Parents do. Always remember this. The school is only a partner. So you need to choose wisely. The school is partnering with you in raising your children. So you need to choose wisely. Stay involved. Stay involved. Don't be that parent that will just pay school. After all, I've paid school fee and I'm providing food, I've bought books, I've bought this and all of that. Ensure that your children are getting what they need to get, because there is a window frame for everything that your child needs to learn per time. If you miss that season, your child will struggle. Be involved. If you are invited to PTA meeting, please attend so that you can be a voice there, so that you can be able to correct the wrong in case there is any. So choose wisely, stay involved, and keep nurturing your child's hearts, not just their brain. Keep nurturing your children's hearts, not just your children's brain. Back to school prep. How to choose the right school for your children. And this is where we'll end this session today. Again, my name is Ayoluwa Dedeji. Every Sunday by 2 p.m., we are here talking about parenting, learning about parenting. And trust me, if you have been attending this session, you will know that you can't leave this session the same way you have come, because I am always prepared to teach. I love to teach parenting. I love to talk about parenting. I love to learn parenting. Every day, I teach about parenting. So anytime you see me on your screen, know that I want to encourage you to keep parenting with intention. If you miss any session of this episode, any session of the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayoluwa, it is always available on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch all other videos. I have almost 50 videos there on parenting. So do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Get my books. They will help you. Invite your friends, your families, your children's teacher should be watching this, should be joining this parenting talk show. You know why? Because they are parenting with you. They are influencing. They have ability and capability to influence your children. So they should learn where you are learning. Yes. Thank you all for joining me on today's session. Until next time, keep parenting with intention.